This is our ICM statistics video project by Eujin and Mahah. Data collection and sampling methods. The way we collected data was through convenient sampling. We surveyed our friends for the data as well as used voluntary response by using a commonly used teen social network called Instagram. On Instagram, we each posted the question on our account so we could collect more data. However, this did cause bias because voluntary response causes voluntary response bias because only those who wanted to answer the question did. Also, there was undercoverage bias because we didn't count for those who don't use or have social media. After analyzing our data, we realized our data consisted of a variety of numbers and wouldn't be a proper representation of the population's total amount of college they would or planning to apply to.
So for the measures of central tendency, there are three main measures of central tendency: mean, median, mode, and range, and one uncommon measure could be the mid-range. To calculate the mean, we added up all the data and divided by the number collected, so 100. To calculate the median, we put the data in order from least to greatest and cross one by one from side to side until we reach the middle, and the mode is the number that occurs the most. Lastly, to find the mid-range, you find the average of the maximum number and the minimum number, meaning you add the two and you divide by 2. For our data, we had a mean of 7.45, a median of 6.5, a mode of 5, and a mid-range of 13. To measure the spread, you can either use range, quartiles, IQR variance, or standard deviation. To find the range, you take the maximum number and subtract by the minimum number. To find the quartiles, you first have to find the median. Once you have the median, you split the left side and the right side of the numbers and find the median of both of those sets of data. Then, to find the IQR, you just take the third quartile and subtract by the first quartile. For our data, we had a range of 24 with quartiles of 5 and 9.5, with the subtraction of the 2 equals 4.5, which was the IQR.
Okay, to calculate the variance and standard deviation, variance is the average squared deviation from the mean of a set of data, which is used to find the standard deviation. The standard deviation shows the variance in data. If a data is close together, then the standard deviation would be small. If a data is spread out, then the standard deviation would be large. To find the variance, you would first find the mean in the data, then subtract the mean from each value, then square each deviation from the mean, find the sum of the squares, and then finally divide the total by the number of items. After finding the variance, you then take the square root of the variance to get standard deviation. Another way to find variance and standard deviation is through the calculator. You press Stat, Edit, type your data into either L1, L2, L3, and so on, and then click Stat again, and then Calc. Then the first one var stats. For our data, the variance was 12.96 with a standard deviation of 3.6.
So this is a graphical representation. And the first graph on the left is a bar graph that is meant to show the comparisons between categories of data. The second graph is a pie chart that is represented in a circular shape to show the percentage of the data entries that fall in each interval. And the last graph is meant to be a frequency polygon that is meant to understand the shape of the distribution.
And finally, our graph when a graph is normally distributed, this means that it's symmetrical, single peaked, and bell-shaped, with the mean, median, mode all the same. However, our data is not normally distributed because our data is skewed to the right, with the mean greater than the median and the median greater than the mode. Going back to the last slide, you can see on the third graph, you can see how it's skewed to the right.